Good morning, students. We will continue with the first chapter, that is Sources of History. We have completed TED video, audio, and audio-visual sources, that is on page number 3. If you have your textbook, 8th standard. Now, before I continue with photographs, I just want to brief you about Povada. What is that Povada? Now, the Povada is a genre of Marathi poetry that was during the late 17th century in India. Povada, which means to glorify, is a traditional Marathi ballad that traces its history to more than 750 years. Povadas often glorified and celebrated deeds of popular folk figures and leaders such as Chhatrapati Shivaji and Tanaji Malasure, and were also written to raise awareness on social issues such as female foeticide, dowry, and corruption. Povadas were also used as a medium to create an awareness during Samyukta Maharashtra movement. This is where Povada plays a very important role in creating awareness amongst people. The composer composer cum singers of Povadas are known as Shahirs. The professional Povada singers formed a guild or caste known as Gondhalis. The earliest notable Povada was the killing of Afzal Khan by Agni Das, which recorded Shivaji's encounter with Afzal Khan. The next notable Povada was Tanaji Malusare by Tulsi Das, which gave an account of the capture of Sinnagarh Fort by Tanaji Malasure. Now, there is a movie on Tanaji Malasure. I think you must have seen it. So, this is where the Povadas play a very important role. Now, we will go with next topic, that is photographs. Now, I think photography is a hobby for some people or maybe students. Now, photographs are a visual source of modern Indian history. With the discovery of art of photography, photograph of various persons, events, objects, structures, places were clicked. Through these photographs, we get information of the person or an event in a visual format. In case of medieval period, there are paintings available that depict the physical features of a person or a visual description of a particular event. So, paintings were done in medieval period when art of clicking pictures or photography was not developed. And in earlier ancient time, paintings were done on the walls of the caves. So, sorry, this is how this art developed. But with photography, with camera, now live pictures can be taken of a particular place, of a particular personality, and these pictures are very important source of understanding Indian history. We get to know a person through these photographs. Depict the physical features of a person or visual description of a particular event. But the authenticity of these paintings is doubtful. Paintings could be not that authentic. Comparatively, photographs are considered to be more reliable. The photograph of a person gives information about the physical features, dressing style, etc. Because when we click a photograph, it's a live picture. See, most of you, due to this modern technology, cell phones, advanced cell phones. Selfie has become like, it's a craze amongst youngsters. They just simply want to take selfie and, post on different social media sites. These pictures are, authentic. They are real ones. Whereas a painting may be, not that authentic. This is where, photography plays a very important role. Photographs of an event give a visual image of the event, whereas photograph an object or a structure helps in understanding its nature. So, through these photographs, we get to understand our past history. Now, recordings. Before I start, the history of sound recording, which has progressed in waves driven by the invention and commercial introduction of new technologies, can be roughly divided into four main periods. The acoustic era, 1877 to 1925, the electrical era, 1925 to 1945, the magnetic era, 1945 to 1975, and the digital era, 1975 to present. This is how, recordings have developed. Experiments in capturing sound on a recording medium for preservation and reproduction began in earnest during industrial revolution of the 18th century. Many pioneering attempts to record and reproduce sound were made during later half of the 19th century, notably Scott's phonautograph of 1857, and these efforts culminated in the invention of the phonograph by Thomas Edison in 1877. Digital recording emerged in the late 20th century and has since flourished with popularity of digital music and online streaming service. Pen drives. See, I don't want to go into detail. Acoustic era, that is the earliest practical recording technologies, were entirely mechanical devices. These recorders typically used a large conical horn to collect the focus, the physical air pressure. So, this is not that important. It's just a history class, so I don't want to go into detail. But this is how, recording started around, late 17th century and early 18th century. And in 20th century, it had altogether a different standard where, digital recording became very common. Now let us go to the topic. Recordings. The discovery of technique of recording was also as important as photography. Recording is a form of audio source of history. During modern period, the speeches of leaders or important personalities, songs, etc. are available in form of recordings. They can be used as a source of history. All these, data can be used to understand history. Like, voice of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru at the stroke of midnight, 15th August 1947. The speech given by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister, is a historical speech. It's an event. We get to know what he said at the midnight of India's freedom. They can be used as source of history. For example, national anthem Jana Gana Mana, sung by Rabindranath Tagore himself, or the speeches of Subhash Chandra Bose, can be used as an audio source for the study of history of modern India. Now, films, most of us know, films play a very important role. We all are interested into watching films and all these film personalities. So, nothing new to introduce. But this is also a very important source of understanding history. Now, If we go into history of Indian cinema, the cinema of India consists of films produced in the nation of India. Cinema is immensely popular in India. Every year, more than 1800 films get produced collectively in various languages in India. Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Kochi, Bangalore, Bhubaneswar, Cuttack, and Guwahati are the major centers of film production in India. As of 213, India ranked first in terms of annual film output, followed by Nigeria, Hollywood, and China. In 2012, India produced 1602 feature films. The Indian film industry reached overall revenues of $1.86 billion, rupees 93 billion. So, this is short history of Indian film industry, and different language films are made covering different topic, historical figures, social issues, cultural issues, religious issues, films based on freedom struggle, and so on. So this film industry is basically a well developed industry. Now let us go to the films. Films are considered as a unique discovery of modern technology. In 20th century, there was a great development in technique of filmmaking. Dada Saif Phalke, this is the biggest honor award which is given to a known personality for his contribution to Indian film industry. Dada Saif Phalke in the year 1930 laid the foundation of Indian film industry. Audio-visual recording of Dandi Yatra, Salt Satyagraha, Quit India Movement, and such other historical incidents are available. They are, properly, filmed and preserved for our understanding. Through these films, the events could be seen in reality. Compared to ancient and medieval period, the source of study of modern Indian history are found in abundance and variety. The archaeological sources of this period are to be great extent found in a better state. There are many written sources preserved in the archives, but while referring the written sources, the ideology and opinions of author regarding the particular event needs to be examined. There is a great need of preserving these historical sources through which rich tradition of history can be handed over to next generation. See, Dandi Yatra, Salt Satyagraha, Quit India Movement, all these events happened long time back, almost 90 to 100 years back. Now, to understand how Indians fought against the Britishers, these preserved, historical records give us a clear-cut picture what actually happened 80 to 90 years back. This is how we understand history. Now, a little more, the history of cinema in India extends back to the beginning of film era, following the screening of Lumiere and Robert Paul moving pictures in London 1896. Commercial cinematography became a worldwide sensation, and by mid 1896, both Lumiere and Robert Paul films had been shown in Bombay. Silent films 1890s to 1920s. In 1897, a film presentation by Professor Stevenson featured a stage show at Calcutta's Star Theatre. With Stevenson's encouragement and cinema and camera, Hiralal Sen, an Indian photographer, made a film of scenes from that show, namely The Flower of Portia, 1898, The Wrestlers, 1899, by H.S. Bhattavadekar, showed a wrestling match at the Hanging Gardens in Bombay, was the first film to be shot by an Indian and the first Indian documentary film. The first Indian film released in India was Shri Pundalik, a silent film in Marathi by Dada Saheb Torne on 18th May 1912 at Coronation Cinematograph, Bombay. Some have argued that Pundalik was not the first Indian film because it was photographic recording of a play and because the cameraman was a British man named Johnson. The film was processed in London. So this is how Indian film industry has developed. The second full length motion picture in India was produced by Dada Saheb Phalke. Phalke is seen as the pioneer of Indian film industry and a scholar of India's languages and culture. He employed elements from Sanskrit epics to produce his Raja Harishchandra, 1913, a silent film in Marathi. The female characters in film were played by male actors. See how film industry or filming started in early phase. Only one print of the film was made for showing at Coronation Cinematograph on 3rd May 1913. It was a commercial success. The first silent film in Tamil, Kichika Vadham, was made by R. Nataraj Mudaliar in 1960. The first chain of Indian cinemas, Madan Theatre, was owned by Parsi entrepreneur Jamshedji Faramji Madan, who oversaw production of 10 films annually and distributed them throughout India beginning in 1902. He founded Elphinstone Bioscope Company in Calcutta. Elphinstone merged into Madan Theatres Limited in 1919. Now see, this is a little dry because we no need to go into detail. This is how Indian film industry basically developed. Now with this we have completed the chapter. Please go through the chapter once again, and any difficulty please do ask. We'll send you the exercise and along with that some extra questions which you have to write it down in a notebook, like how last year you did this entire exercise from the textbook and the extra questions which I will send you in PDF form. Please see that this entire thing is written down in notebook. Don't mark in your textbook. You can mark in your textbook, but please see that you write it down, because for your exams the written work will be easy for you to learn by heart. And in case school starts physically, so that all this notebook is complete, where we can check and give you, because normally last year also you all made the textbook but we could not check it. But suppose if this year at any point of time, if school physically starts, your work must be complete, so that I can check it and return it back. I'll end it here. Any doubt you can ask me. Stay home, be safe. Thank you.